let's get back to the issue about political dynasty. To help us unpack the latest political developments, we are joined by political analyst and legal expert Dr. Froilan Calilong of the University of Santo Tomas. Good morning. Thanks for joining us again.
Good morning, Angela. Good morning, Diego, and good morning also to our viewers. Happy Chinese New Year to everyone as well.
Yes, so it seems that you are on the road, ha? Pasensya na po. Oo. Sige, okay. So, ang dami po nangyayari ngayon, dami dapat pag-usapan. We have anti-political dynasty bill. Ito pong co-perpetrators na lumabas over the weekend. What is the political significance of the ICC naming sitting Senate or ICC naming sitting senators as alleged co-perpetrators in this case?
Well, definitely there are several implications. Majority of them actually are political at this point in time now because syempre there's no finality pa lang naman doon sa mga kaso. Pero if the purpose really is to weaken the current Duterte bloc in the Congress, in the Senate, then I think maaring mangyari yun, ano? Pero kung matutuloy kasi yung impeachment, if we're looking at the impeachment at the moment, I think the magic number still, as the Constitution will say, is still 16. No? So the primary consideration here is whether or not the majority will be able to muster enough strength to actually invite or entice members of the minority to change camps and join them later on so that they will be assured of a conviction for the vice president. Pero as the Constitution says, no, it's still 16 that needs to be met so that we will be able to convict an impeachable officer, no. Pero syempre may mga epekto rin ito, no, particularly do sa committee chairmanships, no, particularly syempre yung presensya nila is very much important also, especially for the morale of the minority bloc. But then again, like I said, no, from a legal standpoint, kakailanganin talaga nila ng sapat na numero para makapagpa-impeach sa ating ikalawang Pangulo.
Pero Doc, given last year, malamang there would have been a chance na pag pumunta sa trial to, magkaroon ng conviction. But you think this time around, kung makalusot ito sa Congress, ma-impeach si VP Sara sa Congress, you think there are favorable numbers, or even if you have favorable numbers, will the Senate aim for a conviction knowing that the elections is around the corner?
Well, the way I'm seeing it, I think with the pronouncements of the current leadership of the Senate, I think they're really dead set on aiming for a possible conviction for the vice president, no, because the dynamics as we know it right now in the Senate actually is very much in favor of the administration at this point. No? So I think although some of them actually may be thinking regarding voting for a possible conviction, because much of their political capital and their political future may actually be at stake here, no? Primarily because we have seen in the past election how the vice president was able to support several candidates, and most of them actually did win. No, so even in the Congress, I think the same sentiment is also holding at the moment. Primarily because some congressmen are also thinking about their political capital and their political future as well, whether or not they're going to support this impeachment. Considering that the incentives for supporting it right now is not the same as that of the 19th Congress. We have a different leadership right now in the lower house. That's one thing. And secondly, no, yun nga, maaring isipin nila ano ba talaga ang mapapala nila kung sakaling may impeach ang ikalawang Pangulo, knowing that she is very popular right now, and at the same time, bumababa naman yung trust rating ng ating Pangulo.
Dugtong lang, sorry. On my part lang, interesting you said that. If you remove, in essence, let's say may convictions upper house, the Senate, and you remove her and VP Sara can no longer run for office, is it tantamount to saying that the Duterte bloc is dead in the water?
That's the problem right now kasi especially with the opposition or the administration or whatever alliance that alliance that they're possibly forming, to think na kapag impeach or talaga na convict si VP Sara, that the votes of the public will transfer or will shift to their favor, no. We have to understand that the Duterte bloc, no, or yung mga kung tawagin natin ay DDS, hindi po yan basta-basta bibitaw, no, sa mga Duterte kahit anong mangyari, no. And I think what is important here to note is that kung hindi man makakahabol si VP Sara because of a illegal blockade, no, like a conviction dito sa impeachment proceeding na to, definitely they will think of having another person to run, no, in her place. And yung mga supporters ng mga Dutertes, I think instead na pupunta sila dito sa bloke ng administration o ng Liberal Party o kung sino man alliance that they're gonna be having, I think their loyalty will still remain to the Dutertes, no. So yun yung dapat nating maintindihan dito, no, na hindi porket na convict na si VP Sara mawawala na ng puwang yung opposition, particularly the Dutertes, from running, because they could still field in any other candidate, and VP Sara could still throw in the support to that candidate, and the DDS or the supporters of the Dutertes will still be able to select or vote for them and support them.
Well, going back to the issue of ICC, the naming of co-perpetrators, paano po yan? Ano po bang dapat gawin ngayon ng ating bansa, no, ng ating administration for that matter? Katulad lang ng what really happened with the former President Rigo Duterte, na nakipag-cooperate sila sa ICC and the Interpol, or yung sinasabi ng depensa ngayon ng Duterte administration na dapat dumaan muna ito sa local courts, etc., para hindi masunod nga yung supposedly ngayon, pero wala pa naman talagang arrest warrant.
Yeah, yun nga, no, medyo on one end, masyadong presumptive itong ating pagpapalagay na magkakaroon nga talaga ng pag-aresto. It gives the public the impression that there is really this kind of connection or connivance possibly happening between the administration and the ICC, no? Kasi paano nila to nalalaman, or bakit sila nagkakaroon ng ganito kaagad na mga apprehensions, this early? But the point here is clear, no. I think if we believe that accountability and justice is what we're aiming for here, I think maliwanag na dapat talagang masunod at dumaan sa tamang proseso, no. Kasi nga nakita na natin in the past that the arrest of the former president really did not sit well with the public, no. The public outcry was there. Many people think that this was really unjust and quite unconstitutional and very illegal to some extent, pero ang titingnan natin dito is, natuto ba yung administration? Are they going to do the same thing again? Is because it will boil down to a question of sovereignty at the end of the day, no. And do we have perfectly functioning, or functioning at the very least, judicial system na kaya naman natin itong gawin? Siguro kinakailangan lang talagang yung proper channeling, no? Yung proper protocol masunod. Hindi ko naman sinasabi na hindi dapat arestuhin or dapat arrestin, pero yung legal technicalities, no? Yung procedural context dapat talaga na i-uphold natin.
Alright, we have a lot to unpack, kaya lang unfortunately wala po na tayong time. Yeah. For the meantime, maraming salamat po sa inyong oras, Dr. Froilan Calilong of the University of Santo Tomas. Magandang umaga po.
Anytime, mabuhay po kayo. Salamat.